What is up, guys? On the eve of the World Supercross round in Australia with Deegan, Roczen, Webb, Tomac, Anderson, Savage. It is loaded with stars. And Roczen lets everybody know he's quitting the series. I got some thoughts on that, and I'm going to tell you why I think he's leaving. Slowey broke the news yesterday, and it's never the kind of news you want to break, but Joe Shimoda did in fact break his neck, had surgery, and will be out for an extended amount of time. I'm going to tell you what that means and where they go from here. I'm going to touch just a little bit on the mini Olympics. I'll probably do a big show on it like Sunday, but I got to touch on a performance by Carson Wood. This was badass. If you haven't tried Nano Extreme, aching knee, shoulder, elbow, lower back, I don't know why you haven't. It is the best high-impact chronic pain solution that I've ever used. Head over to Nano Extreme, use code COOKSY and get free shipping. If you struggle with arm pump, check out Coach Rob's seminar breaking down how arm pump happens, what you do to cure it. Get this seminar. It's normally $500. Coach is doing it for $250, and every dime is going to injured rider Hayden Bennett. So click the link below and cure your arm pump. And now on YouTube, they judge us by subscribers, so don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it. Click that little link. It helps me out. We get paid off of views, but the subscriptions helps how many people they push the videos to. So if you could click that, I'd appreciate it.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
But I don't blame them, I blame you!
So Slowey announced yesterday that he had heard that Joe Shimoda had a neck injury and had surgery. You internet trolls bombarded him saying it was fake news. It's not. Listen, I know Slowey, and he doesn't put out fake news. He puts out information that he gets from his sources. He's got people all around the tracks. And when I saw that, I was like, oh man, I'm pretty sure. Even Slowey, though, said, I'm not sure about this one. So I was hoping it was a mistake. It's not. Joe broke his neck, and he will be out for an extended period of time. I'm not a doctor. I haven't seen his x-rays, so I don't know the exact extent of the injuries. But from what I was able to find out, when you have a fracture similar to like what Joe Shimoda had, it's terrifying. That's the one we all fear, the one that can break your neck and paralyze you. And we have so many guys who have lost their ability to walk. It happens in this sport, and it's the biggest fear we have as racers. And every single time somebody says there's a broken back or a broken neck, the next question is, can they feel? Did it hit the spinal cord? Is there permanent damage? Because that's the only thing, like, we're like, oh my gosh, there's this day or two where you're just waiting to hear what happened. Is he going to be okay? Is he going to make a full recovery? And I'm happy to say Joe Shimoda is expected to make a full recovery. And I researched his injury, and it's scary, man. When you break your neck the way he did, 1 in 5, you can do that 5 times. One of those 5 times, you will be paralyzed. So that's not something you want to toy with. He just hit 1 in a 5 chance that he was going to be paralyzed. But as bad as getting a broken neck is, and that's never good, there's some good news wrapped up there. He's not going to have permanent paralysis. He got his Honda deal done. And don't think for 1 second that if his deal wasn't done and this injury happened before it was finalized, that offer would have went down or changed significantly. And I don't blame these teams. They have a certain amount of money. They got to get riders out there and they got to get results. While it's noble to invest in a rider after their injury and, betting on their recovery, it's just not something you can financially do. You got to get riders on the track to show your product, to sell it. So I get it. But luckily, Joe's deal is done and he is going to be compensated for the next whatever years. Glad he got the deal done before the injury. So that's kind of fortunate. The other thing Joe's got going for him, he's 23. He won't be 24 until May, so he's young. He's got a long career with guys now heading into their mid-30s and being completely competitive. He's got plenty of time. There's no rush to get him back. I don't think his situation is going to be like, remember Jeremy Martin? He was set to go to the 450 and then he broke his back. It changed the course of his entire career when he broke his back. He did make a full recovery and he had that triumphant win this year at Millville to end his career. And he can walk, so it's as good as it could have turned out. But his entire career trajectory changed. He was supposed to, when Sexton got his 450 ride, that was supposed to be Jeremy Martin. So you look at injuries like this, and it changes the future big time. I hope this doesn't change Joe and his career path because he was just starting to become an elite guy and take off. And he won the SMX championship. He almost won the outdoor championship. I mean, the dude he rode the 450 at Donations. He looks like he's going to be a powerhouse in this sport for a long time to come, but he's got to heal, and he's got to heal properly. I've seen some people reporting that, oh yeah, 3 months and he'll be back. No, not from what I found. 3 months is the minimum before he can start doing something. And I don't think we're going to see Joe until outdoors at the soonest. With these guys being just high-level athletes, there's a chance that he's going to heal much faster than what the doctors predicted and have him ready to where he could ride some supercrosses this year. I don't think he should. I think he should take the time to properly heal and be ready for outdoors. Just completely give up on Supercross this year. But it makes for a weird scenario at Honda. They have 250 guys. They have two of them, Chance Hymas, coming off an ACL, and now Joe. So heading into 2026, it doesn't look like either of their riders will be ready completely 100% until outdoors. What do they do? And now Hymas is a weird situation where he's torn his ACL 3 times in 3 years. This latest one was not the one that he did twice, so that's good for him. But he cannot rush it back. According to his timeline, he's probably going to start riding in December, January. Is he going to be ready for February 21st when they go east? Because if he's not, they're going to have to get some sort of a replacement because Honda can't not just have a 250 guy. And Chance Hymas is in a situation where he needs to make sure that he's completely healed. If he were to come back and tear another ACL, that'd be 4 ACLs in 4 years. That's the end of his career. Chance Hymas would be done at that point. I don't see him being able to rebound from 4 ACLs in 4 years. Who would ever invest in him again? So that leaves Honda with 2 guys that they need back on the track, but they have serious injuries and they can't rush them back. What do? There's nobody really available, right? Not so fast. Henry Miller. Henry Miller has been riding out of his mind. The veteran, he's been able to get top 10s in Supercross in the 250 class, and he's riding better than he ever has. Honda, hire Henry Miller, put him in the West. Give him the chance of his lifetime to go ride for HRC. Pretty sure whatever deal he has going, he can get out of to go to HRC Honda. And with someone like Henry Miller, it's a feel-good story. It's going to get Honda all sorts of publicity. And he's not really going to threaten. It's not like he's there to replace Joe or Hymas. He's just keeping the seat warm. He's the perfect replacement. Honda, do everyone a solid, hire Henry Miller, and have yourself a feel-good story. Make a good thing out of a bad thing. What would you guys do if you were HRC? Would you leave the bikes empty? Would you hire Henry Miller? Would you get the young Australian Alex Larwood? Would you try and hire somebody else? What would you do? I know what I would do. I would have Henry Miller. I'd be calling him, and I'd already be like, hey, as soon as World Supercross ends, we need you. And I would tell Chance Hymas, take your time. We got Henry Miller in the West. If you can be ready for the opening round and you're 100%, great. But if not, get 100% and we'll bring you and Joe back for outdoors. And let's go get the outdoor title. If you need to ship anything, use Precision Transport. That's pretransport.com, a family-owned shipping company that believes in customer service, reasonable pricing. Pretransport.com. Alias MX gear. I'm telling you, if you don't want to wear the same old crap that everyone else is wearing, check out Alias MX. This stuff's badass, and it's aliasmx.com. Check out Ride Strapped, goggles, glasses, shirts, just a really cool company. They got the Red Pill t-shirts. I love those things. That's probably my favorite t-shirt is my Red Pill shirt. Head over to Ride Strapped and check out what he's got. So Ken Roczen. Nobody's doubted his talent. He is one of the most talented and amazing dudes to ever ride a dirt bike. The things he does just makes me go, wow. Had he not had the arm injuries that he had, he'd have so many championships. But he's also got a dubious reputation off the track as somebody who does not care about anyone else. He does a lot of people the wrong way. He had that issue with David Pingree. He blocked Dylan Ferrandis from being part of that team. And those are just the 2 that I have off the top of my head. But he's got a reputation as a prima donna off the track. So in 2023, World Supercross, under different ownership and management, hired Ken Roczen. So they have their teams to where they pay him on a Formula One type business plan, but they set aside a significant amount of money to go get big names to bring the series. And Roczen was the first one they went and got. They signed him to a 3-year deal. They never announced how much money it was for, but the rumors, and I have to go with rumors because they won't actually say, so if you don't want rumors out there, tell us the truth. But what I was told, $1.5 million for the first year, $2 million for year 2, and $2.5 million for 2025. Now, those were monster numbers, and honestly, that's probably part of the reason the first ownership group for World Supercross failed. But the new ownership came in and looked like they were honoring whatever crap deal was already in place. I don't know, and that's the thing, is they're not telling us. Did they reduce that start number? Is he not getting the money that he was promised for 2025? Something happened there. And the signs that Roczen wasn't getting along with the new ownership group started last year. I think him and his family were upset that they didn't block me from showing up at the event. They're like, well, thanks, but we're going to let this guy go. I think that actually pissed him off. Roczen feels like he's the star. You need to keep him happy. You need to do everything about him. And the fact that he couldn't get one lowly YouTuber blocked from the event, I think it really kind of pissed him off and let him know, oh boy, I don't have quite as much power as I thought I had. And the new ownership group took some of that money that was geared towards Ken Roczen and gave it to Eli Tomac. He was there for the whole series, and he won the championship. The idea that Roczen was the face of the organization, it didn't look quite that much. It looked like, yes, he was their first one, but he's not the guy they're building the series around. But with a 3-year deal, you assume he'll be there for 3 years, right? And now, once again, I'm going off rumor because they aren't telling us the truth. The rumor I heard was, so the deal that was done by the previous management group had in the fine print that you had to do a certain number of races. They count every main event as a race, not the entire day. So there's 3 main events. That's 3 events that count towards the contract and whatever start money that Ken Roczen was guaranteed. I believe Ken Roczen's fragile ego was upset at Buenos Aires when they brought in Deegan, paid him a significant amount of money, gave him all the press, and he completely overshadowed poor Kenny. So Kenny and his dirtbag agent look at the contract and they say, hey, if you complete 3 of these rounds, we got enough main events that we can secure your money for the entire year. So if you want to bail then, go ahead and quit. And part of the reason I don't buy his, I just don't want to have burnout and get ready for the season, is he didn't even race outdoors. He's already a Supercross only guy. He's not like Justin Cooper. Justin Cooper did 31 rounds here in the United States, and then he did a couple wildcard rounds. Tomac did as many as he could. He's racing indoor, outdoor. Roczen raced Supercross, took the summer off, came back for the 3 SMX rounds, and now he's saying he's too tired to do World Supercross before being another Supercross only contract with Suzuki? And why announce it? All the rumblings started after Buenos Aires when his little ego got hurt when he saw how much publicity they got for Deegan. And once again, I'm totally speculating. This is what I think happened. I think that his agent went there, demanded more money, or did something stupid. World Supercross said, no, we can't. That's just not where we're at right now in the business plan. We can't just give you all this money because your guy's ego got hurt. I hate to break it to you, but Deegan is worth more than Ken Roczen at this point. So they look at that contract and the fine print and they said, all right, after 3 rounds, we leave them high and dry and quit on them. Ken Roczen leaving this series, after being the face of it for 3 years, showing up, it was assumed when the season started that he was going to do the whole thing. For him to quit 3 rounds in hurts the integrity of their series. It really hurts Ken Roczen and whatever his legacy is. He'll always be known as a quitter or a guy who is a prima donna off track, the things that he's done are ridiculous. On track, and the things he does that are just inspiring. It's crazy that a guy can show that much heart on the track and that much talent, and then you hear some of the things you do off the track about Ken Roczen. It's disappointing. One of those things like never meet your heroes. Well, yeah, if you just watch what Ken Roczen does on the track, you have nothing but respect for him. If you hear some of the stories behind the scenes, not so much. But the fact that this guy is willing to torch a series that is so important to the future of this sport in being competition for the AMA and Feld and MX Sports and driving prices up so that the riders, the next generation, will actually make some decent money. The only way that's going to happen is if there's competition. And for Ken Roczen to do this kind of damage to the only real competition, wow, this is disgusting and it's setting the sport back a long ways. I can't believe he's doing this. Who walks away from a red plate with 2 rounds left? What does that say about Ken Roczen's heart that he's so upset about whatever went on that he's going to skip the 2 rounds and he's going to leave the red plate and a world championship? Say what you want about how big this world championship is. It's a world championship. 5 countries on 5 continents. Yeah, it's pretty cool if you win that championship. So I'm sure Roczen and his goofy agent probably think they're just sticking it to World Supercross. Well, you should have paid me. You should have respected me more. He's destroying his own legacy and labeling himself as a quitter, an egomaniac, and a prima donna. And like I said, maybe my information's completely wrong, but from what I've seen, I think I'm pretty close on this story. But for all you internet trolls, yes, I'm taking a lot of liberties and I'm filling in a lot of gaps on this story. I don't have it all. My answer to that is, if you don't want me to do that, Ken Roczen, your agent, come out and tell us. Tell us the story. If I'm wrong, tell us the truth, and I will gladly backtrack. My interpretation of this whole thing is much closer to fact than it is fiction. But yes, it is a lot of speculation. Take it for what you want. I've taken the information that I have, that's been given, what I've seen, and I'm telling you what I think happened. And let me ask you guys, what do you think of Ken Roczen? Like, he's leading the championship, and he could possibly even close it out a round early and not even have to go to the last one and still be champion. But he is not going. To me, this is not about a contract dispute. This is a quitter. And like I said, he's not like one of these other wild cards who's jumping in here for a round or two. This was changed mid-season. He didn't sign up as a wild card. He's riding for pipes. It was completely assumed that he was doing the entire series at round 1 before they got there. That's when something changed. That's why this is different than these guys, the wild cards jumping in and out. This is a guy quitting. And there's a lot of things in sports that we forgive and bad behavior. Quitting is not one of them. It's disgusting. It's something we don't want to teach our kids. And this is going to stink on Roczen for a long time. And it's disappointing that somebody with so much talent, and he's done so much in this sport, things that other people can't even dream of. He's come back from arm injuries that would have ruined most people, and he's going to taint that great legacy. The route he's taking is mutually assured destruction. Neither party, neither World Supercross or Ken Roczen, is going to fare well. Looks bad on the series. It looks bad on Ken. And I cannot believe that it's actually happening. I can't believe they're not faking an injury or doing something like that. The way he's straight up just asking out, wow, the PR damage is irreparable. And I'm all for riders getting every dime they can get. But if it's true that he used a loophole to get all his money and leave, wow, that's a dirtbag move. And we got the Mini O's in Florida right now. And so yesterday I was all excited about Vincent Way and how good he rode and that he beat Mikael Harrop, the factory triumph rider, MXGP star. He got 4th at Redbud. I mean, Mikael Harrop's the real deal. He's a bit overqualified to be riding an amateur national, but it's fun to have him there to let the kids take a shot at him. Well, Vincent Way beat him straight up. Carson Wood says, hold my beer, and beat him twice the next day. That's how, Carson Wood, I've watched him, but I've never really been like, oh my gosh, that guy's awesome. If you go back and watch the replay, watch the first lap of the 450 Pro Sport when Carson Wood goes over the finish line and just turns the bike upside down in a violent manner. I'm just like, wow. It was one of those moments you go, okay, this guy's got something special. Carson Wood, Vincent Way, we got some good riders in the pipe that are coming down to the pro ranks. But I'll do a full Mini O's wrap up probably Sunday. Thanks, guys. 3 members are winning Veltrishen gift cards this month, $100. The peptides, I'm telling you, they keep me healthy, and I think you should try them if you haven't. New Power Sports XQi3 electric motorcycle, 1 month and 1 week, and we're giving away one of these XQi3 motorcycles to a member. Thank you, guys. Here's your member of the day.
These guys are just filling their pockets because they're money hungry, greedy, stupid mother, ex-circus owners, but still got the same mindset for the Supercross. Screw Feld, screw the AMA, and screw Rob Dingman.